What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So you may recall last week we did a horror news update on what I'm calling the Flanagan verse. Mike Flanagan has involved in just so many projects, whether it was, well, probably one less project now if you watched that video. The Flanagan verse got knocked down a peg when it comes to what was going to be his interpretation or his new take on the Exorcist franchise. That project, that film, is on hold indefinitely. It's not going to be coming out next year, and now we don't know when it will be coming out next year. So there's that. Then we brought you the latest update on his opinion of what's going on, or what eventually ended up happening to his script for the Clayface film that DC was going to do. It was going to be a horror tragic story film, and apparently James Gunn was all about it. James Gunn came out and said that Mike Flanagan's script convinced him to do a film he had zero plans in doing, and then wouldn't you know it, somebody now has come in and is rewriting the script. So apparently, and this is just my opinion, and this isn't me knocking James Gunn, but James Gunn is known for lying. Let's just put it bluntly. He's known for lying. He's been caught in a multitude of lies, and I think this is just just one of them, to be honest, where again, he's saying that this script convinced him to do a movie, and now if that was the case, why are you bringing someone in to redo the script to a degree which we'll never know until probably years after the film, assuming the film even gets made? Because we all know, if you know what's happening on that side of the table when it comes to cinema, a lot is hinging on the fact of this new Superman film being successful or not. But we're not going to get into that. All that to say is, Mike Flanagan's script for that horror version of Clayface doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition. And then here we are for the other project that he was working on, or he's still working on, and it seems to be moving forward, is the Carrie TV series. So here we are. Mike Flanagan teases new vision for Carrie TV series that convinced Stephen King. So we're going to jump into these details, see what what Mike Flanagan has in store. I mean, we've gotten some tidbits of information here, but hopefully with this new article, with this new I don't want to say press release, maybe that's what we'll call it, he's coming out and giving us a little bit more insights into what his plan is going to be for this, because we do know, we've seen of course we have the original film, the subsequent sequels, the attempted remake, the musical, and I do think they did attempt, or were going to do, a TV series, and it didn't work out well. So let's jump into these article details here. Stephen King's horror classic novel Carrie has inspired 3 adaptations and a sequel already. So there you go. Yeah. With another brand new adaptation on the way from Prime Video and Mike Flanagan, the filmmaker recently teased his vision for the series and what sets it apart. Mike Flanagan serves as writer and showrunner for the 8-episode series, in addition to directing select episodes. The filmmaker behind Stephen King's adaptations, Gerald's Game, Dr. Sleep, and The Life of Chuck, revealed to Variety that the prolific horror author initially balked at the idea of another adaptation. Quote, his response was, "Leave her alone. She's been through enough," Flanagan stated. But it's that thing where the more information I could share, and sending him the Bible and the plan for the show, he could see the thing we were trying to do that was new. Then he said, "Oh, now I'm interested, just as a fan. I'm excited to see where this goes." Once he said yes, then we were off, because if Steve had said no, I wouldn't do it. So I'm hoping based on that. I mean, again, that's very minuscule information, as far as, unless this article goes into a little bit more, and we'll read here in a second. I'm really hoping this does separate itself from the previous versions that we have seen, or the previous attempts that we've seen at this character within this franchise. I want to see a breath of fresh air put back into this franchise if they are going to keep trying to go back to the well on some of these horror classics from the 70s and 80s. I'm going to be a little cautious because every time we seem to go down this path, I mean, Scream tried it. I know she last summer tried it, and some various other series studios have tried making great original films that were great, and I still are great. And 20, 30, 40 years later, saying, "Oh, let's do a TV series," and they absolutely fail. And they're always a one and done. So one season and it's done. They either cancel it or they don't even get through the entire season before it's canceled. So let's move on. The new series Flanagan reveals will approach the story with a modern lens. I think we already knew that was going to come. So we're focused, quote, "We're so focused way more on the destruction of a community through these very modern tools. What happens in a world where the internet has created an environment of perceived anonymity. Carrie White in the locker room in every iteration is a horrifying scene. Carrie White in the locker room when people have phones in their hands is a whole different thing," Flanagan said. So yeah, I mean, I would, again, based on that first comment or statement, I would expect a more modern version. I wouldn't expect this TV series to take us back to, like I said, any point in time in the 70s or the 80s to tell the story again. I would expect a more modern take. Now, what I don't want to see is this turn into a modern take where it's just going to be a bunch of episodes of social media. Well, it probably will. Let's just put it frankly. It probably will. I mean, if we're going to be using cell phones, I could see this turning into the way she's getting bullied in this series is through social media, through online posts, and kids, texting photos or videos back and forth around something of that nature. So I can absolutely see that's the path they're going to use for the bullying aspects. So let's keep going here. That won't just be a modern refresh on a familiar story, though. The series will frame the story beyond its telekinetic teen. The central tenets are still the same, but it's about much more than Carrie White. I can't really talk about what we're doing. I can only really talk about what we're not doing. We're not retelling the story as it's been told, and we're not making a show about telekinesis. It's in there, but that's not what it's about. In Stephen King's Carrie, now we just go on to a synopsis and then the previous films, and okay, that's where the arc ends. So going back out, we are getting 8 episodes. Now I am wondering if Prime is what route Prime will go with this 8 episodes. We don't know the budget behind this. I mean, obviously you got someone like Mike Flanagan directing it, the showrunner writing it. I mean, directing select episodes, I should say, but he is a showrunner. He is serving as the writer. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to go the route of like The Boys, where they do like premiere night, they do 2 episodes or potentially 3 episodes, and then the next 5 to 6 weeks we get a new episode, or if they're going to go the route like more recently when we got like The Bondsman, which I know some people enjoyed, some people didn't enjoy, was canceled out of nowhere. I don't think anyone saw that show getting canceled as quickly as it did, where they released the entire series up front day one. Now, I think if Amazon is going to learn anything, if Prime Video is going to learn anything, is don't do that. Don't release an entire show that you're putting any level of hope behind to garner and gather an audience and think that it's going to last in the top 10 beyond week 1. Odds are 8 episodes, people, and depending upon how long these episodes are, regardless if they're 30 minutes or 37 to 48 minutes, people are going to binge watch this in the first week and they're going to be done with it. If you want to keep them interested, you want to keep those numbers going, then stretch it out a bit. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something just as similar as The Bondsman. People will binge watch it in that first week. It will make the top 10. It will drop out of the top 10. And then you're going to sit there wondering why. And then you're going to subsequently cancel the show for that one and only reason. Now, again, I don't think the show had enough time to really get an audience behind it. A lot of people did like it. For me, I thought it was okay. For me, it had its high points, its low points. It didn't feel like it was really anything overly new that we haven't seen in other TV series or films. But again, it was something different. So there you have it. I think that's something Prime Video needs to take a step back and think how they approach series like this, like Carrie, or in that instance, The Bondsman. Anyways, that's going to do it for this horror news update. Mike Flanagan give us a little bit more information on his approach to the Carrie TV series. And again, had Stephen King said, yeah, I'm not liking what you're doing, then apparently Mike Flanagan would have walked away. But I don't. He may have walked away, but I don't think Prime or Amazon, MGM, whatever part of them is doing this, would have walked away. I think they just would have found somebody else to potentially do it. Would have paid Stephen King enough money or whatever to do something different, and would have pushed it out. So I don't think it would have mattered. Anyways, that's going to do it for this horror news update. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think as far as the additional insights into the Carrie TV series. We still don't have a date on this, but once we do, and once we get that first teaser, those first look images, that trailer, we're going to be doing a review of them. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.